Let's just get straight into it. This video is basically going to be how I pass, tips on how to pass, kind of what's worked for me and what hasn't, and also like my experience with passing being pretty, kind of like in social situations, basically whenever I leave the house, and also other people's reactions to it, sort of thing. The first thing that I do to pass, which you will find that a lot of transgender Ftm people do. Not everybody does it, you don't have to do it, but the easiest thing I found, the first thing was for me was wearing baggier clothes. It was about my clothing at first, like before I even came out as trans, like I always wore quite boyish clothes because I never really liked like my figure and how it was, and I never liked it in like tighter clothing, and I always just felt more comfortable in like baggier clothes, and especially men's baggy clothes. It just made me feel better. But actually being out as pretty, like being coming out as transgender, I feel kind of more like I have more of the freedom to wear men's clothes, which isn't the case at all, because even if you're not transgender, you should be allowed to wear whatever clothes you like. But that can be for another video. But for me personally, I do like to wear quite baggy. Even when I wear like t-shirts, I get like men's medium or large. Like, and I'm only a small person as well. I'm only like 5'1", so they are quite big, but they just they hide all them curves and dreaded hips and all that. So that it does work for me. Um, The second thing I do to pass is binding, which again you'll also find that a lot of people do or would like to do. And like binding for me has really helped a lot, because like no matter how whatever size your chest is, if you're kind of feeling dysphoric by it, like binding is, especially in my experience anyway, it has been really good to help that, and like it makes me feel better in whatever t-shirt I'm wearing, especially like if I'm not wearing big jumpers or anything like that. Um, but like just with binding, you've just got to make sure that you don't wear it more than 8 hours a day, because it does restrict like your chest quite a lot. And never go like a smaller size than you think you should, just because you feel like, oh, it'll make it even flatter. Like I'm wearing like a medium, and you can get all ones. You can get ones with straps. You can get strap plus ones. You can get them in most colours now. Like they come in like you can either get ones that kind of cut off here, or you can get ones that go all the way down. But like for me, they've been amazing. But obviously, they do come with the fact that they bind your chest down. There's always going to be a bit of like you know, like risks, health risks, and that. With I mean, even just wearing it 8 hours, and there's been times where I've worn it a lot longer, and when you take it off, you kind of remember that you can breathe again. So when you come to first buying one and wearing one, it will feel much different, but you also like kind of my relief with it anyway has helped me a lot. So that's definitely something that I do to pass, is to bind my chest down. And if anybody who is pretty and has never binded before and is interested in it, like, can always message me in the comments, like, and I'm happy to reply or to make another video completely on binding and, like that kind of stuff. So, the third thing with how I pass, it's actually been like this for quite a while. It isn't, again, it's not something that is like you have to do this if you're trans. This is just my personal experience. Um, is my hair. Like I cut my hair quite a few years back before I even like I knew that I was trans, but it was when I was still in like the lesbian stage. But like growing up, I never liked having long hair anyway. So no matter what, I probably was just gonna have short hair anyway. But now having short hair definitely does help. Like help me anyway, and I've been through quite a few different stages. There was a time where I shaved my whole hair off, but that was for a few different reasons. But yeah, so cutting my hair definitely kind of helped me pass, the stereotypical um, boy has short hair, girl has long hair, but that isn't how it is at all. Like you can still pass and have long hair, but for me personally, in myself, it made me feel better that having short hair, it's kind of just, and it was just a lot easier for me because when I had long hair, I didn't do anything with it anyway. I just kind of tied it up and left it like that. So yeah, having short hair has kind of just been fun as well. Like, but when it comes to passing, it's it kind of does help me a bit. So that is another tip. But again, it's not something that anybody should feel like they have to do to pass. So they're just a few of the tips that I use like physically to pass. Now I'm going to go on to some of the experience I've had with being out in social and passing and some people's reactions or comments or anything like that, like, or how I feel in general. Like, so when I'm outside, there's some days where I feel like I'm passing better than others, and I could be wearing the exact same thing or the exact kind of same thing as wore a few days ago, but I could feel like I'm not passing at all, and that's just kind of like me feeling in myself and that. But when it comes to like other people, like I kind of grew up like very boyish all the time, whether no matter like how I dress or whatever, I was just very boyish. Even being younger, I was a proper lad. Like, so when like people would mistake me for a boy, and then they'd either just wouldn't realise or they would correct themselves, and I wasn't too bothered about it. But obviously, especially being in high school at the time, it was a bit like, but I'm not a boy, because I hadn't realised it or hadn't really even known much about it, and I just was in this kind of box that I didn't really know what I was. But when other people assumed it for me, it kind of felt a bit shit. So really, it was like, um, back then, before I was out as trans, it was always me getting mistaken for a boy, and that even when I cut my hair and I was still like, yeah, I'm just gay, I'm still a girl, but people obviously would still then, because I did look even more like a boy. But now because I'm actually out as trans, using he him pronouns, all of that. I changed my name, but obviously people that you just meet outside don't know that, and it's quite interesting now that when I'm out, more people assume that I'm a girl, and I don't have the confidence to correct them. And most of the time, it's just like a 5 minute, less than that, interaction, whether it's like at like a meal or anything like that, or like someone's trying to get your attention to sell you something like in town. Just that, but like it's strange how it's kind of turned around, and I'm just like, hmm. I mean, I don't get offended by it, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna know, like they don't know me. But it is quite strange how it's turned around, like, and when it comes to like feeling like you want to pass, at the end of the day, it's more about you feeling comfortable in your body. Like, you don't need to prove to anyone that you are this gender, whether you're pretty or not. Like, even if you're not thinking of transitioning, like you can wear whatever clothes you like. You can have your hair however you want it, and you can still feel like and be the gender that you are. Like, just because somebody else might mistake you for it or might not even accept it, you don't need to do all of these things to like to feel like you are that gender, because you are. It's just for yourself. I know it's can be lots of anxiety with going out and just hoping that you are passing enough for other people, but it really isn't about them. It's about you feeling good in yourself. So I do all these things to feel good in myself that I'm passing, and feel good that I'm the gender that I am before hormones. So really, that's kind of like the main thing about this whole video, is that there's so many things you can do to pass, and everybody's different. But as long as you feel comfortable in yourself, then it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them in the comments. I'll also put my Twitter in the link below, and on my Instagram, and you can message me on there if you need to. Okay.